Welcome back to Give Me Five with Jones and Eli. Eli, you're transported 10 years into the past. What is the best advice you're giving people there for the next decade?
Two things, Jones. Two things come to mind immediately. Number one, bet on Leicester City to win the 2016 Premier League. I think the odds, I don't even know what the odds were at the beginning of that season, Jones, but if you threw a million on that, you and your grandchildren are set forever. And number two, Jones, invest in Bitcoin.
Ooh, that's a good one. I've never heard of Leicester City. I was thinking along the same lines, bet on the Cubs, because this would be 2013. Bet on the Chicago Cubs to win the 2016 World Series. They were not on the up and up at that point. In fact, maybe bet on the Astros too. I think the Astros were definitely in the tank back then. I think, were any good movies? What good movies have come out since then? I always think about stealing movie ideas, and we're talking about pre-production here, so you'd have to kind of think about what movies haven't even entered production at this point. That would be good. 2013, Shape of Water.
Water, get out of here with that. First of all, fuck the Astros. Don't bring up the Astros on this podcast again. That's not okay. Second of all, I think like in terms of revolutionary movies, I'm tempted to say La La Land. I don't know why, just because it was like kind of the first of its kind and it did so well. Obviously, it didn't win the Oscar shot at Moonlight, but that was what 2016. Yeah, I think if I went to 2013 and proposed a La La Land type, got Gosling, got Emma Stone, and did that, I think I can make a lot of money.
You'd also have to think about what people would actually listen to. Because sure, we could say we go back and be super noble and say like invest in climate change, blah blah blah. But people probably knew about that back then. People still probably wouldn't take your advice. So we have to focus in the moment. I'm trying to think. Watch out for Odell Beckham in a couple of years. I'd lay out some money on him as well. Big music. Who really came on the scene? You could take a lot of steal all of Morgan Wallen's songs, steal all of Zach Bryan's songs, steal all of Olivia Rodrigo's songs.
Do you think there's a way you could somehow prevent COVID? Is that something you'd try to do at all?
How would I do that though? 10 years out, I would say, hey, if you see somebody eating a bat in China, stop them from eating that bat. I feel like it's too broad of a prompt to give somebody.
But I think, there's ways you could have prevented the pandemic in terms of like warning signs and stuff and investing a little bit more in like those kind of agencies. I think that's definitely stuff. That gets into a more deeper conversation about government and all that stuff. What for you personally, Jones, would you tell yourself if you were going back 10 years, young Jones, right in elementary school or middle school or wherever you were then? What would you tell him?
I would say it's gonna be okay, young buck. I know that you're probably a little awkward now. I'm trying to think. I don't know where I was at in 2013, man. But like the things that you want to come around are gonna come around. That's what I was gonna say. I would tell him, hey man, in T-minus 10 years, you're gonna start this great podcast. That's absolutely gonna change your life. So don't worry about that. Had I met you in 2013 yet?
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
So I'd say, hey, that annoying ass kid that you hate, like it's going to be okay with him as well.
I appreciate that. I think for me, what I would tell my past self is, I guess, the same thing. There's going to be a lot of change. There's going to be a lot of craziness or whatever in the world, especially as well. But just, stay the course, keep it going. I think it is fascinating to think about the fact that we're never really going to be able to go back in time, right? I always think about that because
you never know. You never know.
Because listen. If time travel did exist, right? Somebody would have probably come back and told us that it existed, right? If we ever at any point invent time travel,
why would they come and tell us? We're not big yet.
They would have not us personally, but it would be on the news.
No. It wouldn't make the news. That they probably teleported into the Oval Office when Obama was like chilling in there, and they were like,
"Yeah, hush it up." You think that's Area 51?
Of course. You know how many things they hush up in this country?
Dude, they leak. It gets leaked. WikiLeaks? You think WikiLeaks wouldn't be telling people about
You think Obama's leaking it? You think Obama's going to leak it?
You think they would only tell Obama and he would just be the only person in the world? Why Obama?
I don't know. I don't know if they chose to transport to that time. I don't think they would. I don't think they would transport and tell Trump, because I think Trump would definitely leak that pretty quickly. Maybe they went back further. Yeah.
No, let me first ask a question for you, because we don't want to get too political on the pod, obviously.
No.
If you could get back 10 years in time, right, and you had all this information and you were the one that invented time travel, you could go back 10 years and you would tell, or any amount of time actually, who would you then go to tell? Who's the first person you'd say, okay, I into the time travel, and you can't go to yourself.
Uh-huh.
Are you going back like to your mom, or are you going back to like
No, I don't want to
George
put all
Washington?
that
Like, what are
information
you doing?
on my mom. No, I would go to Morgan Freeman because you know what? He always has the voice that seems the wisest. He seems like a man way beyond his years. And I think he would have something really good to say about it. I wish I had a Morgan Freeman impression to whip out of him understanding about time travel, but I just really don't.
I think I'd probably go back to a family member or somebody like that, because I feel like those people that I trust, go back and tell them, hey
why?
guys.
But why do they need to know? Why would you put that on them? Morgan
Why would you
Freeman's
put it on
ready for
Freeman?
that.
Is he? Is he?
Or maybe I go Bill Nye the Science Guy or Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson would probably be a good guy to tell. This has been Gimme Five with Jones and Eli. Eli, thanks for talking.
Oh, it was a pleasure, Jones. Talk to you soon.